Adam and Eve sinned. The very first thing they do is try to solve the problem themselves. Right? They eat the fruit. God told them not to do that. He says, hey, don't do that. That's not going to be good for you. It looks good. It might taste good at first, but that is not going to be good for you. It will have other effects on you that are bad, and do not eat it. They ate anyway, and when they did, they noticed there was a problem now. What's interesting is it said that they realized they were naked. They had been naked the whole time. It had not been a problem. There was no issues. And suddenly now, they felt shame. And they tried to fix it themselves. That's what it says, right? They got some fig leaves, they sewed them together, and they tried to make some clothes out of leaves. The problem is that was not going to fix the issue. Pastor, how do you know that didn't fix it? It would cover them. Well, just read the story. Because even with those clothes on that they had made, Adam hides from God and says, I hid because I was naked. In other words, I'm wearing the clothes I made, and I'm still describing myself as naked. Why? Because what I did to fix the problem did not fix the problem. God had already told them the penalty for sin was death. Here's the problem. They had never seen death before. They'd never witnessed it before. So at this point, when God describes death, when he says, if you eat this, on that day you will surely die, they may or may not have really understood what that word truly meant. They had never seen it. It was theoretical. Nothing had died because sin didn't exist yet in the world. It was not present in the world. It was not affecting the world yet. But on the day that Adam and Eve were supposed to die, according to what God had told them, he says, when you eat it, if you eat this, on that day, you will die. On the day they were supposed to die for their sin, God instead offers mercy. Now, the sin still needed to be paid for. They still needed to know how severe sin was. But God spared their lives. And what they had failed to cover in their own strength, God covered at the cost of at least one other life. Check this out in Genesis 3, a little bit further on, verse 21, it says this. Then the Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. Where did the skin come from? You do not skin an animal without killing that animal, without that animal dying. This is a life that is now paid. Immediately after sin had entered the picture, on the day that they were supposed to now pay for the penalty for this, another life was given instead to cover them in a way that their own efforts could not. This is the first death recorded in the Bible. And it wasn't Adam, and it wasn't Eve. It was God substituting a life for their life in order to cover them. An animal had to die. The guilty were spared their lives at the expense of at least one other life. In other words, the gospel message actually happens before you ever leave the garden.